How to not DNF at a 100-mile race. Listen, to run 100 miles, all of the stars have to align. You could have trained perfectly, you could eat perfectly, you could do one little thing, one tiny thing that doesn't align right, and it's going to take off the whole day. So I want to give you some tips and tricks on what I've learned on how to not DNF at 100 miles. I have had 5 finishes and 3 DNFs, so 8 total attempts at running a 100-mile race. Getting to the start line, towing that start line, huge accomplishment. You have already done something so many people will never do, and that's even put yourself out there to attempt this 100 miles. But to finish it, that's a different ball game. So with that, I want to talk about how to actually get to that finish line and what I have learned with my 3 DNFs that I did not finish, because you pull something different from every race. My first rule, beware of the chair. So what I mean by that is aid stations feel like magic when you hit them. Food, people, energy, maybe friends or family, crew there to see you. And then there's that chair that's just sitting there calling your name, and you're tired and you want to visit, and there's this atmosphere and you don't want to be alone on the trail anymore. But listen, once you sit down, the second you sit down, everything's going to change. Your body's going to start shutting down. You're going to start feeling tight and stiff and aches and pains that you didn't know that you've had because you've been blocking them out this whole time. Your brain's going to start negotiating with you as you start to get more comfortable sitting there, and comfortable is a dangerous spot in a 100-mile. So instead, when I'm going through an aid station, I think of it more like a NASCAR pit stop. I go in with a purpose, I grab what I need, take care of any business I have, and I'm going to keep moving. You're not there to hang out. You're there to keep your race alive. So when I say that, kid you not, I go in, I'm getting my pack off before I even get to the aid station. I have a list of what I need. If I need to address something, I'm going to address it. I'm going to grab what I need. I'm going to put my pack on, and I'm going to leave that aid station eating whatever it is that I needed to eat. So definitely use it like a fit stop, 5 to 10 minutes at most through the aid station. It's really hard to make up that time later on. So beware of the chair. Do not sit down. My second rule, go offensively slow. I get a lot of giggles on this, but realistically, go offensively slow. So you have to understand, you're not racing, you're outlasting. That changes everything about how you move. A lot of people, me included, we go out too fast. We think, oh, I'm reserving, I'm being conservative. But the reality is you need to go slower than you think. You need to go offensively slow. I say it the first probably 20 miles that I'm running, slow down, offensively slow, offensively slow. The kind of slow that you're questioning, is this the right pace? No, you're probably still going too fast. So from the very beginning, hike every single climb, no exceptions. I just ran a race last weekend, Bootlegger 100, and the start finish line's there, 3, 2, 1, go. You take off, you literally take about 15 steps around a corner and you're going up a hill. I walked. My girlfriend I was running with, she's like, oh, we're walking already. And I was like, it's a hill. We walk every hill. And she was like, oh my gosh, I didn't even think about it right off the go. You have all this excitement at the start line. Walk every climb, no exceptions. Short steps, upright posture, hands on your quads if you need to, steady your breathing. You are going to save your legs now, because whether you realize it or not later, this is going to impact you. So save your legs. Now, when it comes to downhill or gravel, these are 2 areas that people make mistakes. You get a little aggressive, open up the stride, and then you end up destroying those quads. So instead of taking off downhill quick, putting your arms out, flying in the wind, we actually want to keep the strides a little short. We want to land with soft knees, making sure that we're being very intentional, almost like a shuffle. We're just kind of moving along. Protect those quads at all costs, because when they're gone, your race ends really quickly. With that, I'm going to kind of move into fuel, because this is where my races fall apart. It's quiet and it happens over the course of a lot of miles, but once it happens, it's really hard to regain. So 2 of my DNFs were results of failing at fueling. So you need to be eating and drinking from the start, whether you like it or not, whether you're hungry or not, from the beginning, even if it's just small bites here and there. Have a goal. 150 calories an hour, or whatever it is, however it breaks down for your body weight and what your body's going to need. Do your research on it and get those calories in from the beginning of the race. You can get a lot more in those first 50 miles than you can the last 50 miles, Don't eat too much that you're bogged down, but definitely continue eating something. You're burning a lot of calories. Once you hit that point of depletion, you're just sick and there's no coming back. So at some point, usually around mile 60, you're going to look at your nutrition and you're going to want nothing to do with it. Whatever plan you had is kind of out the window. By mile 80, you hate every piece of food that you brought. The idea of putting something in your mouth gags you. That's normal. Plan for it, prepare for it. It happens to everybody. And eat. Eat no matter what. It doesn't matter how you feel. This is why you need to have more than one plan. Not, I'm going to eat this, this, and this, but you need different options. You need different textures. You need different flavors. You need some savory, some salty, some sweet, some liquid, whatever it is. You need to be able to consume it, because fueling isn't about preference. It's about keeping your body moving forward. So super important to fuel and to have a plan A and a plan B on that. Caffeine, crazy. I always cut caffeine for 2 weeks prior to my 100-mile race. I do this with the intention of taking caffeine in during the race for that overnight and getting a little more zip or a zap to it than I would normally feel. So I usually cut caffeine 2 weeks prior, switch to decaf. Then my goal when I take the caffeine during the race, it's going to hit a lot harder than normal. And when you take that caffeine also matters. I usually don't start bringing the caffeinated gummies or gels or a cup of coffee or whatever it is in until closer to like mile 50 or 60. Sun's starting to go down. My body's starting to feel a little tired. I'm going to get a little caffeine jump in. And I use it pretty steadily, just a little bit at a time over the course of the last 30 to 40 miles of the race. I use it kind of as a tool to help me stay alert and keep moving when that fatigue is really settling in. I also am a big fan of no dose. I started taking that maybe my third 100-mile race, and that has been a game changer for me. So I only take 1 or 2 pills, and it's just a lot of caffeine, but it doesn't leave you feeling jittery, which is kind of nice. It sits well on my stomach because I have a sensitive stomach. So no dose has been a game changer when I started using that. So caffeine and no dose, great for those overnights. When I mentioned the pit stop at the aid station, one thing I pay close attention to is my feet. So my feet is my race. And once your feet fall apart, it's really, really hard to make yourself keep going. You can be in great shape, mentally strong, doing everything right. But once you get those blisters that you're not addressing or those hot spots you're not addressing, you're done. It's really hard to take care of it once you don't address it. So have a plan. I regularly check my feet every 25 to 50 miles, depending on the race. If you feel any kind of a hot spot, any kind of friction, whatever it is, address it immediately. Don't say, okay, yeah, I'll get that in 10 miles at the next aid station. No, do it now. I pull over on the side of the trail, throw a little Vaseline on, whatever I got to do to address that right from the cuff. My last race that I just ran last week, I finished it out. No blisters, no chafing by the end of the race. First time that I've had this happen. So I feel like I'm finally getting the taking care of my feet down to come out of it with no blisters on a tough trail. So that was a big win for me. So definitely fix problems early. Don't ignore the hot spots. I say ignore a lot of things, but don't ignore those hot spots on the feet or with chafing. Chafing can take you out real early too. I don't really mention that much in this podcast, I don't think, but chafing is going to take you out. So a small issue at mile 20 is a major issue at mile 60. So don't ignore it. Don't ignore it. Later is too late. So the part that a lot of people feel the most tested during 100 is the overnight. Those miles 50 to 100, not only are you already fatigued and tired, but it's late and your body's circadian rhythm is now being thrown off and everything in you is screaming, I could be home sleeping. I have a bed I can sleep in. I'm bored. I'm tired. My body hurts. I'm achy. I'm pain. The more fatigued you are, the more your mind is going to start wandering into those dark places in those dark nights. This is the point that races are won or lost. And that's okay. You are going to walk more. You are going to need to do whatever you need to do to stay moving forward. Races, like I said, they're won or lost during these nighttime hours. So at night, have your focus shift. It's not about the pace anymore. It's about problem solving. You're moving forward, you're managing your body, and you're staying on top of your fueling. I cannot stress this enough. Whatever you need to do, you're going to continue moving. You're going to walk more. That's good. Keep progressing forward. That's all we're looking at. Mix in some light jogging as you can when you're feeling up for it, but the goal is just to consistently move forward. Your environment's really going to matter a lot at this point. So having the right gear, staying warm when you're getting to those points, keeping your headlamp on and nice and bright so you can see your surroundings. Maybe it's a good time to have something to listen to, or a podcast, or some music, or somebody to talk to. Those things can make a big difference in those dark overnight hours. Being prepared mentally, because this is kind of where things start to deteriorate for people. You don't necessarily want to think, I have 40 miles to go. We don't want to think about that. During those overnight hours when our mental is diminishing, our body is tired, we really want to think, I just need to get to the next aid station. Maybe it's, I need to just get one more mile, the next foot in front of me, keep moving forward. Don't think so much about how far you have to go or how far you've gone. I really go aid station to aid station. One of the most important rules that you can follow is never quit in the dark. There is something magic in the daylight when that sun comes up that first morning. So everything feels worse at night. Your brain is more tired. Your body's tired. Your thoughts a little unreliable. You just have to make it till the sun comes up. A girlfriend of mine actually put that on a shirt for me. Make it till the sun comes up. All you have to do is make it to sunrise. And once that sun comes up, magic. Everything feels fresh, renewed. What felt impossible just hours ago in the overnight is suddenly manageable again. So really try to make it to that sunrise in the morning. At some point during that overnight, though, usually between miles 60 and 75 in my experience, you hit a low. You hit a dark place. Something that Courtney DeWalter, who's an amazing 100-mile athlete, she calls it the pain cave. When you're in it, it feels like it's never going to end. Everything is negative. Everything is dark. It is one of the lowest points of the race. And usually you're questioning whether or not you're going to finish, whether or not you even should be running 100 miles. You say, what am I doing? A lot of times for me in that place, I'm going, this is probably going to be my last 100-mile race. I don't think I want to do this anymore. I'm miserable. I'm cold. I'm hungry. I don't feel good. Whatever it is, that pain cave that feels like it's going to last forever, realistically only lasts like 20 to 45 minutes, and then it's over. It passes and you're done. As long as you keep moving, as long as you don't quit while you're in the pain cave. When these moments hit and you find yourself in that negative space, simplify everything. I just need to get some food in me. I just need to walk it out. Focus on your breathing. Focus on warming up if you're starting to get cold. Maybe bring that little bit of caffeine in at this point. Whatever you do, don't make any big decisions on the race in those low moments. Get through it and then reevaluate. Get to the next aid station, get to the next mile, get to the next step. Whatever it is, it does shift, and I promise you'll come out of it. So in that moment, instead, when you're feeling, allow yourself to feel it, recognize it, acknowledge it. I'm in the pain cave. This sucks right now, but I'm going to get through it. So I'm going to just, what can I learn from it? Have a perspective shift. I learn something every time at these races. The hard parts, I learned something about myself, learn something about my race training, whatever it is, find a learning point. But whatever it is, you'll be out of it before you know it. You just got to push through. And like I said, let yourself walk. Eventually you'll be back to running again. So stick it out. The nature of these races is to bring you to that low point, to bring you to that learning point. So zoom out. It's not about being perfect. It's about staying steady, staying calm, staying relentless. At the end of the day, you're not racing, you're just outlasting. You're trying to manage your effort. You're staying on top of your fueling. You're taking care of your problems early. And if you keep your head in the right place and you give yourself a real chance to finish if you do this. So remember, little reminders, keep moving, go slow, go slower than you think, especially at the beginning. Take care of your body, take care of any little things right away, not later. And sometimes when we want to quit in the dark, when we're questioning our life choices, remember, we don't quit in the dark. We just got to make it to sunrise. You guys, make it to the sun comes up. If you can do that, you give yourself a real shot at finishing the race. It's not just about starting the race, it's about finishing it too. And that's the goal. So hopefully someday I will see you at the finish line. I hope this helped you guys and encourages you to maybe go out and try your thing. Love you. Have a good day.